7-year-old Melody Kashalik of South Euclid was a little girl who loved bright colors, loved to dance and sing, loved the music from the movie Frozen and the singer Pink. On the night of June 7, 2015, Melody suffered a rare and fatal asphyxic asthma attack. Despite the best efforts of her mom and doctors, several days later she was declared brain dead. Her mom, Amber Travaglio, knew that her daughter's journey couldn't end there. Melody's organs were donated and saved the lives of many, including a little 4-year-old girl in Atlanta who received her heart, a wife and mother in Arizona who received one of her kidneys, and a young woman in the Cleveland area who received the other kidney and a liver. At a recent Life Bank luncheon in Cleveland, many of Melody's organ recipients and their families were in one place, some of them meeting for the very first time. As lunchgoers came in, some were directed down one hall, where they would see a slideshow of Melody's life. In another hallway, they would see the story of the little girl whose life was saved by Melody's heart, Peyton Richardson of Atlanta. Like Melody, little Peyton Richardson in Atlanta was a 3-year-old girl who was healthy until January 2015, when a cold virus attacked her heart and caused it to stop. Her heart got beating again, but it was still too weak, and she needed a heart transplant. After being placed on the top of the heart transplant list, she also suffered 2 strokes. A doctor told Peyton's parents, Ashlyn and Sydney Richardson, that the chances of recovery were slim and urged them to consider letting her go. They would also take her off the transplant list. But at her parents' insistence, the medical team agreed that if she could breathe on her own after the ventilator was removed, they would move her back to the top of the transplant list. She did breathe on her own, and on June 11th, she was told there was a heart for her. The transplant nearly 3 years ago was a success. As you can see, Peyton is a healthy little 6-year-old now. She has some developmental delays and has some vision impairments, but she is doing well, her parents said. As lunchgoers were making their way down the hallway, either watching Melody's story or Peyton's story, little did they know that at the end of the hallway they would get to meet the parents and Peyton.
How you doing? Yes, this princess.
Also at the luncheon was Cuyahoga Falls woman Kelly Ellinger, who served as one of the first Life Bank family liaisons to meet with Amber and her family after Melody's death. The two had not seen each other since shortly after Melody's death. For all of those whose lives will be forever connected with Melody's gift of life, it was a wonderful event to be together.
Hello, I'm Ashlyn, Peyton's mom, and this is Sydney, her dad, and we are the recipient parents for Melody's heart. We're so thankful to her mom and her family and everybody who just thought enough to donate Melody's organs. I'm so sad about the fact that she had to pass away for it to happen, but I'm seeing her legacy live on through Peyton and all the other donors, all the other recipients, and I'm so grateful to her mom and to her, and we just love them so much.
Hi, my name is Melissa Garley, and I'm the recipient of Melody's right kidney. I received that on June 13th, 2015, and I'm blessed every day for having the transplant that I was offered. Being here has been an experience that I can't even explain. Seeing the images of Melody, seeing her family, it's very emotional. There's no words that can express how thankful I am, and I feel like I have a family already, even though we've met on social media. But it's to see what organ donation does is amazing, and everybody should be an organ donor.
So being able to experience this and seeing the families come together, it's incredible. It's something we never get to see. It's like we show up at the worst possible time. We never see smiles. We never see anything positive in those early days. But to come here and be a part of something so spectacular, it's just overwhelming. It just makes me feel like what I'm doing here today and every day at work, it shows the good work and the reasons why we do it and why we keep going out for the long hours and the long drives and the tears home on the way home. But every time it's like going to a movie and seeing the first 5 minutes and not knowing how it's going to end is how we begin a case. You're seeing a terrible tragedy, and then this reaps some benefits of that tragedy, and just knowing that I can be a part of something like that makes me feel like I'm doing something spectacular that day, and I'm just honored to be able to do it.
It's just incredibly heartwarming to look around and see, you know, Melody's kidney recipient in front of me and another kidney recipient behind me and her heart recipient Peyton running around, and I just feel honored and blessed to be able to meet all of them, to see all of them, to hug them, and to be at this event with each and every one of them is just a surreal, amazing experience, and definitely a pivotal part in the healing process for me.